I, just like everybody else, almost fell for the college propaganda. From such a young age, we all get it drilled into our minds that we should figure out what we want to do when we grow up, and it should probably involve college because those jobs pay the most, and more money makes you happy. There are so many people out there who are like me, who have no idea what they're going to end up doing, or had no idea. I know now. And their parents, the advice that they give is go to college, pick something, and if anything, you can use that as a backup plan. We have all been psyoped into this idea that college equals success, when in reality, it costs $38,000 a year on average, and you have to pay that for 2 years for any degree that's going to get you a job that pays slightly above average. And this communications major that a lot of undecided people go into, it costs $70,000. It takes 2 years of your time, and it doesn't actually help you end up scoring a job that's worthwhile. A lot of people, they graduate college and they kind of got to take what they can get because there's a lot of people graduating college now. And they end up working jobs that they don't like. They're making like 70 grand a year. That could be a wrong number. Look up whatever the number is. It's not that high. So their spouse ends up having to find work, and their kids don't get to have both parents. Their kids barely even get to have one parent present at home. They kind of have to raise themselves on YouTube and their iPads. So college really doesn't bring you to success. It costs so much money. And the 2 years that you're in college, likely you're going to have to work a part-time job to make money on your own, so you really don't have time to do anything else. If you're really laser focused on that degree, then you have to dedicate all your time to that. I would say the only time that college wouldn't be problematic, wouldn't be a scam, is if you're genuinely passionate about doctoring or being a lawyer or something that it's pretty hard to land a job in that if you don't have a degree. It's doable, but the structure just makes it so much easier. Then racking on a little debt wouldn't be so bad because that's your passion. But for the people who are undecided, that 2 years of time, when you can be spent literally building anything else for yourself, that's just ultimately not worth it. We're all convinced that college equals success, but it really doesn't. I would even go as far to argue that those who get scholarships and full ride to colleges are still wasting their time if they don't want to work a job that requires college. And this is because your time is valuable, and those 2 to 10 years that you're spent educating yourself, you can't do anything else. Like, sure, there's people who party through college, but those are the people that have a GPA of like 2.0. And it's going to be hard for them to graduate because college classes are hard. You have to grind for those, and you're going to want money to live if your parents aren't providing you money. If your parents are providing you money, then why don't you just live with them for those 2 years? They'll probably give you the food so that you can get your feet on the ground. It's just not worth the debt. And then you have to pay that all off on your job that's slightly above average. So what's the alternative to all of this? What does the 99% kind of preach not to do? Step 1 in finding what you actually want to do is identifying the mission. What this looks like practically is you're grabbing a journal and you're sitting around doing absolutely nothing, powering off your phone and just putting it across the house so that you don't even think about it. And you envision, what would I do with my time if I had everything? This is after you've raised your kids. This is after you've traveled and gotten all that out of the way. Say you've got your homestead. You've improved your homestead as much as you can because you have all the money in the world. You just pay people to do that. How are you spending your time? What would you do for free if money weren't the object? This might take some time. This is a tough question. It could be teaching. It could be maybe you go all in on pickleball. It's the only two examples I'm going to give you. Think of it yourself. You got it. So let's use the pickleball analogy. If you decide that pickleball is your ultimate purpose, then you can make money doing it. If you fully maximize your skills in pickleball and you learn how to market yourself properly, then you're going to end up making just as much money as you would with that college degree. It just takes some time of making no money because people love to see someone else who's passionate about something. And if you do it for free anyways when you had unlimited money, why don't you do it for free now? So step 2 is to grind and don't stop. For pickleball, this looks like deliberately training for 8 to 10 hours a day. Because if you've decided that's your passion, then you should be able to do it. There's still going to be some burnout, but you should be able to do it without extreme burnout. The only time that you should really switch passions is if you've made the decision in your mind, I could never do this again and be happy. And that's an okay thing to find out. If you start grinding on this one skill and you find out that you like art a lot more and you don't even want to look at a pickleball racket anymore, then it's perfectly fine to switch over to art. You're peeling away the layers on your little purpose bubble. And once you ultimately figure out what that task is that your brain just craves to do, your God-given purpose, if you're working at that for 8 to 10 hours a day, a work day, and you're maximizing that skill while everyone else is spent doing college, you're going to be that much more ahead of them. And once you get to that step 3, you have to market yourself. Once you've actually mastered this skill, maybe you have to work a job to get a little bit of money for this, just so that you can live. Start a YouTube channel where you teach other people how to play pickleball, or you showcase the new tricks you're learning. Heck, maybe you just record yourself playing in a tournament setting because of how competent you are. People are going to want to watch that, and people are going to enjoy that if you do it correctly. I'm not really qualified to teach marketing. I would recommend looking into it, just how to start a social media business. That's the next thing you would have to figure out. But once you get a successful YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever social media you want, you're going to be making a lot of money. There's so much money in the internet right now because everyone is hopelessly addicted to it. There's people who are watching kids just train their Muay Thai kicks who've never done it before, and that's entertaining to them. The possibilities are endless. So if you do that task for free and you can make money for it, that's awesome. Why doesn't everyone do that? Some other things you can do to market yourself if you don't necessarily want to do social media is you can make connections, because other people are going to find out about you some way or another. There's a world where maybe you go out and you master pickleball, and then you end up meeting Shaq because he just happened to be there and he really liked you. This is definitely a harder method to do, but it is possible. If you think social media is off the table, you could pay other people to record you. Maybe you work a little 9 to 5 on the side or a part-time job just to make enough. And then you invest the rest of your resources into this passion of yours. And eventually it pays off. If you have if you're able to build 100,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel, that's going to pay you so well. You're going to make, I'd imagine 100,000 subscribers is like $5K a month. You can look up the actual statistics. Ads alone, they make you a good amount of money. And $5K a month is plenty to live on if you're alone. So if you're in high school right now, or maybe you're just about to graduate, maybe you have graduated, you definitely might want to think about this, because this is when it's going to be the easiest time to actually fully commit to something like this. Whenever you get a little older, it gets a lot harder, because obviously you'll have people to provide for. Maybe your parents will kick you out. There's so many different roadblocks that could appear. But if you're worried about what you're going to do in the future, and maybe you're just about to graduate, maybe you're in college right now, things always do end up turning out fine. The backup plan, instead of going to college for a backup plan, maybe your backup plan can be something unskilled like construction. Sure, you'll make $19 an hour, but you'll save yourself 2 years and a ton of debt. 2 years and a ton of debt isn't your backup plan. That's you're planning for failure. Heck, maybe your backup plan could be the military. I've considered that. If all else goes wrong, there's always ways to make things turn out all right. It's like you're genetically predispositioned to succeed. Your entire bloodline, things have always turned out all right for them to reproduce for thousands of years. So it's literally in your genetics to succeed if you think about it. I would highly encourage you, make sure you start that journal. Make sure you just dedicate a couple hours to figuring out what your purpose is. And then just try things out. If you wait to find the perfect thing, then it might be too late by the time that you do find it. Maybe you'll have far too many responsibilities. It wouldn't necessarily be too late, but it would make it extremely more difficult than compared to if you had just started now. So I'd recommend you take action, because they're not going to pay you for nothing. You'll make money if you work hard, and working hard on your flow state task, something that you're extremely passionate about, compared to your communications, marketing job that you landed from college, you're going to enjoy this one a lot more. It's just a thought. I wish the best for you guys. Hope this video helped. See ya.